Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Black Tie Gaming, and we're back again with Factorio and Mountain Fortress again. So as it happens, we're going to be lucky enough to join a server which is going to be just starting. And one of the things that I really wanted to cover with you guys is early defense. I think that's one of the most important parts. So here we are. End of the last run being restarted. So one of the most important things when starting out is making sure you have the proper defense, right? Zone 0, where you start, it's a great start because you have this open space where you can start building. And we're going to do this right now. So you have this open space where you can start building. And the most important part is to set it up correctly. There's a few fundamentals to kind of keep in place. So one is, well, you need to kind of move the train out of the way. And you need to get your defense line as close to, or as far away from the starting position as possible. So if this is the line where the biters kind of attack, right, get it as far to the south as possible. Right now we're moving south. What if we were moving north? Same thing applies. Just get it away as far as possible from this blue line. So an example of that would be, let me just check if my blueprints are loaded. They are. So the example of that would be if we take, for instance, this as a blueprint, don't build it here. Like, that's just way too far out. Build it as close here as possible. Leave yourself some room for some belts or anything that you might require, but add it here. So that's going to be the most important part. Biters are going to attack right where the arrows are. If they spawn and they appear off-center, that's typically a glitch. That's reported as a glitch. It shouldn't happen that way. If it happens, well, too bad. The run isn't going as great as it could. But you should build around that center area. Now, that's one kind of principle. The other principle is, well, the train will have to be centered as well. So not only do you need to kind of build there, the train also needs to follow this arrow as centered as possible. If they do, then the biters that spawn will go in a straight line straight across the map. If they don't, if let's say your train is on the right-hand side somewhere here or left-hand side somewhere here, the biters will naturally spawn here and they will skew and go across. That can happen that your defense line that you might build here, they will not touch it. They will just pass all the way on the left or all the way on the right, and your turrets won't do any damage. And that's the basic principles of early defense. You need to kind of get the perimeter up and running, and you kind of need to set it up. So let's start this tutorial by trying to build that defense line, that perimeter. That's kind of the one part. You can't do it alone. So if you're playing single player, first of all, it's really tough. Second of all, you can't do it alone. People will need to help you. Now, 2 points. You could either search for iron ore veins and try to get them running, or you try to kind of build the defense perimeter. So the important part is right now to clear everything out of the way so nothing is in the way and we can actually kind of build it and deploy it. And when you're building it, you can use a blueprint. If you don't have blueprints, you're just starting here, etc. Keep a few principles kind of in mind. For most runs, unless it's super, too many rounds have passed or whatever it is, you will get away with 3 lines thick worth of turrets. So that means 3 rows of turrets stacked, and it can be in multiple kind of design variations, whatever you prefer. But as an example here, I prefer kind of this. So the important part here is these 3 turrets are going to defend. You can't have 1 line because there's not enough turrets. 2 is sort of okay, but you end up into problems right around wave 150, 160. 3 are perfect. 3 can handle it until the void collapses and the whole thing is eaten by the void. So this should hold fully well against anything, any biter spawns, etc. The only exception to the rule is worms. If worms spawn outside the turret range area, they will eat up your defense and you will have some of the turrets left or none of the turrets left, and that will collapse the whole defense. So it's important to kind of have it properly set up. So my recommendation is have 3. 3 is always nice. and that will kind of carry you throughout the whole game. Now, we're starting out right now, and one of the important parts to kind of set up is start with assemblers. They're going to be the first ones. Right now, we don't have a research for assemblers, for automation is just coming up. So in the meantime, I will do poles, which are going to be crucial, and I will do a few inserters, and then lots of belts. Belts is going to be something that you need to build immediately. Start from the assemblers, because you will need to get some ammo going, and even as little as 4 or 5 turrets can do a pretty good job. If you join like I did right before the game starts, you have quite a bit of time to kind of set it up. As you see, the first wave is only in 600 seconds. There's no issue of it, etc. So we should be good enough. Tip, if you did not know how blueprints work, if you drag poles and there are blueprint designated locations for poles, it will set exactly the poles there, rather than the standard distance of where they need to be. I'm just removing them because the blueprint isn't optimal. Only some of the wires are connected, so just to get it going. Okay. All right, so we have power sorted. Let me just check if it is almost across everywhere. It seems to be. Okay, and so the first thing is going to be assemblers. All right, now we have it. So 6 assemblers to start. Don't need poles anymore. Inserters are going to be fine. So we're going to set that up and going to go through it. Now, typically 6 and a full line of iron is all you need to defend with yellow bullets all the way until the end. As long as you're producing constantly, as long as you have like, at the end of the game some stock here, you will be good. You will be able to kind of defend across the board. So don't worry, don't rush for red ammo. Red ammo really costs a lot of resources. You should be good enough. The only exception to that is you will need red ammo if the research for bullet damage isn't great. So meaning if you are not on level 3 bullet damage, you will definitely need red ammo by the way of 120, 150, somewhere around that. So my recommendation is help with the research. If everything is built here, just help with the research. Try to get as much research kind of done as possible. Gray science, as well as red and green. Typically red you can find on the map to get it sort of going. With level 3 bullet damage, you should be good. You shouldn't worry too much. This is annoying. So clear the worms as much as possible because other players walk around and it damages the whole build that you have. All right, so I've started with the initial setup. We have most of the things here. Let's see if someone is building power. No one is building power. Fair enough. Okay. We'll get that power when the time comes. For now, we'll just build everything and then we'll just connect it when we got. So 6 assemblers is pretty good enough. And we should be good to go. All right, so the next part is let's get the red inserters ready. Now, the way this works is all the ammo gets put on the belt. We use this contraption here to just put ammo on both sides. And then it circulates. It circles back and forth, back and forth. You can feed more ammo with it, but also it's much better than stagnant line, the one that constantly cycles, because you might have a wave incoming. Bullets will be used all the way from here, and then only new bullets are coming in from here. So it's always better to kind of have it cycling. Proven tactic, really works. All right, and then from this belt, with the help of red-hand inserters or long-hand inserters, you will move your ammo to these turrets, and then the turret, you can insert ammo to the next turret, and so forth, and continue kind of doing that as it goes across. I try to build one lane only, so this is kind of split in 2 sides, one side and the other side. I kind of try to build the first side only first, and then we can kind of build the rest as it comes and goes. All right, so 2 turrets to start. Let's see. Maybe someone else has some turrets or place them somewhere. No, not really. Fair enough. All right, let's place some of them here, and I'm going to use up the ammo that I get from starting, just in case some biters start spawning and coming this way. All right, and we have now power. Someone has been very gracious to build us one. All right, I'm going straight through the iron patch. Not ideal. We'll need to kind of redo it, but for now that will work. And okay, so most of the things here are done, and so let's try to get some stone for the furnaces. So in the blueprint you see steel furnaces. Stone furnaces will work fine in the early game. You should upgrade to steel right around at least wave 80 or somewhere around that. That will help a lot. Because as I mentioned, you need a full yellow belt of iron in order to sustain this. So full iron belt, iron ore being belted, and full yellow iron ore and full yellow belt of iron plates being sent to the ammo assemblers. But in the meantime, it's good to start with whatever you have. So let's start with the basics. Alrighty. Okay, so we have power. We should be able to start producing something soon. And we have this. Let's make sure we get something running at least. And so my priorities right now is get the smelters ready. So we have 180 seconds right now before we need to really focus on getting the materials in. But for now, I'll spend all my materials on smelters. If you didn't have that luxury of time and you really needed to defend, I would really focus on grabbing as many plates from everywhere as possible and then dropping them into the assemblers without building the smelting area. The smelting area will wait. You first need to get bullets into turrets as fast as you can, and 6 turrets to start will work fine. Like, it's gonna be fine. All right, and we lost power. Why did we lose power? Someone removed it. Okay, not ideal. It feels like I need to set up the power for the defense at least by myself. We can do that very quickly. So we'll need 4 engines and then 2 pipes. All right, just clearing the last of the area here so we could actually try to set up our power. And usually I want to move it away from the defense line for not to just clutter the area. Yeah, it's definitely safer to keep it close, but or easier to kind of feed it, but most of the time I feel like it's okay. All right. The reason I'm putting 4 is typically enough for the start, and it also enables me just this compact, very build. Don't have to worry about crisscrossing or anything else for that matter. By crisscrossing, I mean needing to kind of weed the steam engines or put pipes or anything in the rest of it. All right, let's put it like this. All right, so that should give us power. Now let's place this in. How much? Okay, wave 2 already. Okay, fair enough. We have biters coming. They're moving a little bit to the side because the train is here. Just fine. Not a problem for now. If this is incorrect, this should be that way. And these are rotating. Ammo is getting in. Should be no issues. All right, so let's build more turrets so we have a bit broader coverage of the area. And in the meantime, continue to mine. If you can mine in the aura, perfect. Do it in the aura because while you're in the train aura, no nests or biters can spawn, or worms, or anything that might kill you or try to destroy your base. So a little bit safer. And even with the 2 turrets, we should be pretty good to defend for now. So it's wave 4, it's okay. But the most crucial part is this, that this factory is running even with a few plates. It's going to do a good job for us immediately. Here we go, now a decent perimeter. Let's set up a few chests so we can start delivering some ores straight into it. And let's continue to mine. I'm mining on that side because here it feels like there's a lot of holes or voids. And alright, I forgot to put in my skill set. Magic 60, everything on strength. The reason I do magic 60 is 60 gives you charge when you're high enough of a level, meaning you can run faster. But also at 50, 60, you begin to spawn magic boxes, so that's crucial for me, as you might get good stuff. So I start with that. So someone built this up. Let's try and do something. I want to do something fun with it. There's a blueprint with a turret which kills everything except the nest. So it should become a nice little form for us. The moment anything spawns, let's check. Yep. Maybe let's put it a bit closer, like here. And then this will give us coins constantly. And someone placed one here as well. So, okay, so let's grab another one just to make sure we are okay. This is not part of the defense, that's why I'm just having a little bit of fun and trying to make sure we don't get overrun with too many spawns of spiders. So we should have now enough furnaces to cover the area fully. And now it's going to be a matter of trying to figure out how do we actually get proper iron coming in. Don't worry about coal in the beginning. Coal it's plentiful. You don't need that much coal for smelting. We will need iron. And okay, so I see On Ice is already kind of trying to build something for us. Very cool indeed. Let me hoover. Because I'm building defense, I know how this works, how much we need, etc. So it's fine if I just go from the belt. But in most of the cases, you will get frowned upon if you do this. Ever take materials from the defense line or defense manufacturing, unless you know it's super safe. You kind of need to be guaranteed that it's okay. But even if you do that, some people get skittish and worried about it. So right now, I know there's a little bit of bullet stock, which should be enough for the next 5 waves, and we're good to go. Just want to make as much density as possible. Wait, is this off? Ah, I never connected it. Oh, damn. Okay. That was stupid of me. Wow. Okay. So, there we go. A bit more power and some plates. And I'm removing plates not for my own kind of benefit or something to kind of do, but the idea is I'm removing plates to make more plates. So it's sort of a self-balancing thing. You just have to remove them at the right time. So, we still have quite a bit of bullets here. This will hold, and we can continue to kind of extend this. Perfect. No more. Good. All right. So we have a bit of iron going. That's going to be the important part. Now, one important bit is people will naturally want to take the iron that's on the belt from the initial kind of places. So my suggestion is do something like this. Prioritize it. Allow people to kind of take the extra iron from it. And then that's it. Worst case scenario, this tends to fool a lot of, especially newer players, that, hey, I can take from this, but you're safe, rather than just putting a splitter without the priority. All right, that being said, we are still low on iron, and we need more. This is a good enough start, but we will need a bit more to get going. Just placing some stock for, because right now everything is being delivered on one side, and then this puts it on the other side, so we have double stacked ammunition, which should be good, and these are doing well. Okay, so the next bit is I want to set up stone production, so we can have a bit of stone happening, and maybe a bit of copper, because we'll need it for the turrets. And yeah, we are off to a pretty good start. The defense as it is should last until like wave 40, no problem. But adding more turrets and adding a wall will definitely be very, very necessary. Now, let's talk a little bit about the wall. What's recommended is not to use just a straight wall, but actually use what's called dragon tooth, which means you put a wall segment every other tile. Every other tile doesn't block the biters from getting to the turrets, but because of the pathing and because of the logic in there, it really reduces their movement speed. It takes quite a while for them to get to the turrets, and that's right about enough time for them to get killed. If you put it in a straight line, there are situations where they will eat through the wall and go straight for the turrets. So, why bother? Better just, use 50% of the required wall and then do dragon teeth. If you've never seen how dragon teeth look like, let me quickly show you. So dragon teeth, space walls, whatever you call them, they look like this. So you would essentially set them up like this. This is, of course, an overkill for defense. We don't need that thick. Somewhere around here will work fine. One tip, if you want to fight behind the wall, etc., stand 2 tiles away from the belt, because spit and other stuff will hit you and then destroy the belts, destroy the turrets and everything in its path. So try to keep a distance. Don't walk next to the turrets when you're fighting, because naturally just collateral damage, you don't want that. The other part that is kind of important is you hear these belts. So as you see, coins are currently being kind of dropped here, And the idea of this whole setup is to automate it, to have coins automatically gathered, not lost, and something where it can benefit the train. The defense coins are meant to be not just for a single player; they're meant to be shared. Most coins are, but typically people have strong feelings about the ownership of coins. So the way I kind of put it is this chest and all the coins that get in here, they're for general upgrades for the team. Things like pickaxe, things like train health, white chests, whatever is kind of required for that to kind of run. Well, I've actually built this backwards. Fair enough. We can deal with that. There we go. All right, so now it's going to fill in 2 belts, and we can start expanding this. All right, let's build more hand inserters, and then we can complete it moving forward. Let me build a little bit of this coin capturing belt contraption so you can see how it kind of will work out. So everything will get deployed here. That's the reason for long hand inserters, and that's the reason for belts on double side. It does make the whole defense thicker, but if you don't have a person constantly collecting the coins, etc., you will actually lose some coins. So the recommended practice is just build belts, and that will be fine. Right. This is working well. Ooh, and we have some leftover iron. Let's make it easy for the guys building the train to utilize it as well. Nice. This is going very well. There's a mistake. Okay. Now, if you do have the opportunity and you have a bit of repair kit, repair the turrets. They're quite expensive and takes a long time to build. So here we can see we already lost one, almost lost the second one. So it's important to do that. If at this point, I don't know, wave 30 or something, you're feeling overwhelmed, etc., and your turrets keep being destroyed and you can't rebuild them, build the Dragon Tooth. That's really going to help out. So really recommended focus on then trying to build these. Yes, it do require stone, but typically there's plentiful of stone around. And we don't have wall research. Okay, so let's get it here actually. By the way, weapon shooting speed does not increase shooting speed of the turrets. Turrets are fixed. The only thing that increases the damage is the damage upgrades. All right, so wall, let's produce a few segments. And even with a few segments, you will already kind of see the difference it makes. Right now we're on pause. So when the pause happens, no biters are coming. If we had the void moving, the void would also pause. Okay, we have a pretty good setup. I'm liking where we are currently with all of this. We should be good. Keep making those gun turrets. And this is producing stone and coal. Stone and coal. And here we have iron. All right, so let's try to help them out so we get more iron as well. We get some iron, all is good. Check on the turrets. If you do something like this, nests, etc., make sure the turrets are fully fed. I'm not worried about removing bullets because waves are paused and the long inserters have plenty of bullets on the belt to deal with. So how many we used? Oh, we used half. Okay, so we're definitely cutting through the bullets. We'll need to keep replenishing this quite often. But already 500 coins, so pretty amazing. So as you can see, the coins travel all the way through belts, end up here, and then they're all in one spot, and you can easily grab them, and they're away from harm. The downside of it, biters might get to the chest, but here you can also lose them. So, all right. So my goal right now, or what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to help clear this iron patch as much as you can. Don't build early on patches like this. You still have to mine out some of the area, and things like this can happen. You might have worms spawning, destroying whatever you built. So have the patience. Oh damn. No fish. Let's grab some fish. Not all of it. Leave some for the others. So early in the game, what I recommend, the moment you have a bit of mana, set up this tiny menu and put in here. You can put in the wall to start spawning the wall as well if you want to, but I find it not very useful. But belts and fast underground belts are really worth it. So whenever you have mana, keep spawning them. It's really useful. All right, now let's try to set it up here. Some power. All right, some underground turret tunnels, and then it's going to be as easy as just dragging this along. Okay, bad placement. We're going to need a bit of belt. Alright, since we now have a bit of more turrets, let's place all of them and see our enemies get torn to shreds. Alright, so now we are really good. We have a full belt of iron coming our way. We have smelters here that are fully occupied, fully have enough stuff going on to keep smelting. Now let's finish up the rest of the build for here, and that's going to include moving all of the coins where they need to be moved, as well as making sure we have all the inserters, red inserters everywhere, and turrets. So I'm just going to build out the rest of the turrets, and then I'm going to show you what's going to be my next goal for upgrading this. Alright, so the last part that I recommend in regards to the upgrades, before you kind of leave this alone and it's here to stay, is make sure you upgrade all of the smelters to steel. I just did that. I just made a small stone smelter area for steel and stone, converted all of this to steel. The next part is upgrade all of assemblers to blue and increase their input. So essentially you would be okay with one yellow, one blue, but just for redundancy purposes, I add 2 blue to all of them to make sure they are good to go, and just like so. And on this side as well, make the outputs all blue, as one yellow is not enough. As you will see, this tends to get bogged at some point, so I really recommend to put blue ones. Okay. Oh, this is working fine. Okay, good. Alright, so then the last bit is make sure you finish up the wall, all of the spikes that you need for the dragon wall, and you will be good to go. The last bit, just before you leave, always, because you don't know if anyone's going to be here and you want to have always vision on this, place a radar. A nice spot is somewhere around here, just behind the main defense, because biters tend to go straight for the radar. So have it here so that whenever you are on the map, you can quickly have a look what's happening here. If they're running out of ammo, has a worm spawn here and it's killing all of your turrets, you need to see that. Yeah, and from that point, you should be good. Sides can be straight wall, front needs to be dragon wall, but do defend the sides as well. Other than that, this is it. Keep moving. Oh, make sure this is a red and make sure this one belt is red. You need full output of speed because otherwise the iron ore doesn't get to both sides correctly, or there's not enough speed to kind of put them up. So make sure you have full belt of iron going in there. Right now, the way this is kind of set up, it's not. So that's the gist of the tutorial. And with this, right now as it is, and then later, damage, this one, level 2, and then level 3. The moment you get level 3, you're going to be good enough. No one will be able to kind of deal with you. So that's it. One last tip, if you wanted to do really nice, I recommend to prioritize spitters first, because spitters are easier to kill and they shoot from afar. So the sooner you kill them, the better. Biters still take a bit of time to walk. So the way it works is if spitters are here, these will focus on spitters, and because spitters are still there, only biters come through here. This round of turrets will be able to kind of eat at the biters that are coming in there. So nice tip to kind of keep it going. Right, and that's it. If some of the turrets get destroyed, focus on the first line, then the second line, then the third line in terms of building order, because red inserters need to kind of put it in. But yeah, that's about it. That's all you need to know about building the primary defense. And right now, I would say we have pretty good timing. We had everything running at the same pace. Had the first turret set up before wave 1. 2 rows of turrets ready by wave 30, and then 3 by wave 50, which is kind of the rule of thumb. And yeah, we have coins incoming. The only thing left is to build out the belt. So all of the coins are being collected, and we should have a fully automated defense perimeter. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.